morning.
Good morning. Here we are again.
It's not Tuesday, though.
It's not Tuesday, but it's just a bonus week. Lots and lots of SNL.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be tired of us.
So we are going to sew this morning, embroider this morning.
A
little bit of both this morning.
Yeah.
Machine's going to technically sew.
Yeah, we're going to push some buttons.
So we're going to push the buttons and tell it to.
Yes.
So this is April's fill in the blank. So if you have picked up your kit, you are certainly welcome to sew along. You should have gotten the zipper pouch, which of course is no longer in there because we're going to sew on it here in a sec. And then we did have, and I think we still have a few left, the embellishment pack of the little pieces of felt and leather and things that you need to complete the project.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is not an overly complicated project. So some prep work you're going to want to do, pull your bag out, lay it flat, and you're going to be putting a little bit of a fusible interfacing, so like a woven fusible interfacing onto the back of the side that you want the embroidery design on.
So if you want your zipper on the right or the left will depend upon which side.
That's right.
You're going to.
So KimberBell does give you some instructions on which side to put it on. But of course, if you would prefer your embroidery design to be on a different side, that's okay.
Yep.
It doesn't really matter in the big picture. So yeah.
That's fused.
It is. So I fused
Movie
that
magic.
This morning.
Boom.
Yes. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
And then you're going to want to find the center.
Yep.
I figured it's about 11 inches-ish. So, and so about 5.5 inches into the side is where I put the center mark at.
I don't know if you guys can see that little line.
And I did mine in green. You aren't going to see that because there's going to be
it'll be on the back. It won't. Yep. And then it'll be in behind a lining to boot. So there won't be any visibility issues on that. And then you're going to fold that half back. So
she does say like press it. I don't think that I would press it.
Not with this kind of fabric.
You can iron it. I tested it this morning, so it is safe. I was just curious. But you don't want a significant.
You don't want a really bad demarcation of a line going through the middle of your bag. So,
so I think folding it in half is just going to be
probably going to be fine because first thing we're going to do is stitch a line to tell us where to go.
Exactly.
So you don't have to worry about
told where to go.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So you're going to get your material prepped. You're going to want to have the design loaded into your sewing machine. There are two designs. There's a centering design and then the standard design.
Yep. So for any of you who think I really like the bag, but I'm not so sure I want a cactus on it, this design is not completely centered in the design itself. There are lines in it that push it a little bit to the right. So if you are going to stitch something else, make sure that you are shifting that a little bit. It looks like
it's about halfway.
Yeah.
I'm like
probably at least an inch.
Yeah.
From center past.
Yeah.
So you would be moving it up in this case, of where you wanted that to go.
Right.
So I'm just throwing that out there in case anybody is contemplating that. You're going to end up with it in a really weird spot if you don't shift, if you're not stitching the cactus design.
Yeah. The easiest way to make sure that you get it in the right place would be to just bring your next design right over top of this one.
Yep.
Then you can slide it over.
Then you can always go back and select and delete the cactus piece. Just make sure that you're in that correct position. So that it'll be off to the side instead of. Words are so hard in the morning.
Yes. It feels warm in here today already.
It does feel warm in here today. Yes. I think we might need to actually turn the heat off.
Look at me. We're different shades of blue today.
But kind of blue. We wore red yesterday. We did not plan it.
Oh, look. And I have a key too.
That's really funny. Mine's much farther down. We're both wearing a key necklace.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's something else. All right. So once you have your bag prepped, so fused and marked for your center position, we're going to take a sticky back tearaway stabilizer and we're going to hoof that with the glossy paper side up You're going to score it. Sarah's already prepped ours so that it's a little bit easier, but score that. I usually do an X. Some people do like a square around the out. Doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. And then you're going to tear away that glossy to reveal the sticky.
That glossy side up is important. If you have that glossy side down, the sticky is going to be on the bed of your machine.
And you're going to be tearing away the sticky.
Yes.
Don't do that. It's the little things in place. Oh.
Yeah, so we're going to get that prepped. We have a couple colors. So I'm going to give you like the clip notes while she's doing that. So we have a dark green in the machine already because the very first thing that we're going to do for this particular design is the light green leather for one of the cactus pieces. So it's going to be little cactus, pink flower, big cactus, brown for the dirt. Then it is,
sorry.
That's right. Then it's the clear. And then it's the felt for like the little tag. So my color choices were dark green, pink, light green, brown, gold, black.
So, and then black, and then there's dark green already on the machine. We are, I think, going to go with an actual metallic for our gold instead of just gold colored thread because we can.
That's right.
Because we can. So I've gone ahead and I tore off that paper and I've gone ahead and put the hoop into the machine. So voila. So we're all set there. So the first thing that's going to happen is going to be something else. There we go. Is we're going to stitch that crosshair.
I bumped it with my elbow. I think I must have gone up 1,000 stitches or something. I knew something got bumped.
That's not right. That needle is in not the right position. Nope. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stitch that crosshair. This is going to show us where to place our cute purple amethyst. It's not purple, it's amethyst. Dusty purple. All right. So one other thing that is recommended is to clip the other 3 pieces together, either with pins or with a wonder clip or something to that effect, so that they don't come apart and accidentally get into your project, because you don't want that. Good morning, Mom. So we're going to take that and line up this line with the vertical and the green line that marks the center, of course, with that center mark. So
like the pressure's on.
Right.
Can you be straight?
No. I'm never. I think we're pretty darn on there.
Good. Yep.
All right. So once we have that, I'm going to push so it stays on that left, and then I am going to very carefully push out down that center and then towards the sides of my bag so that I have that entire center piece. And I've got a little wrinkle back there I can see in the camera. Sorry.
There we go.
There we go. So nice and smooth. So if you are following along in your directions, we should be on page 6 at this point. And the first thing that we're going to do is that cactus piece. So we're going to go ahead and stitch the placement line that tells me where to put my green leather. Little flash.
And
flash in the pan.
Yes. And this is a raw edge.
This is raw edge. So whatever you have in the machine here is going to show. So make sure that you are threading with the good stuff.
The good stuff.
That's the good stuff, because there is no satin or decorative stitch to cover this up. So we are going to place that and completely cover up those stitches and go ahead and tack that down. You guys know I never use tape, but you certainly can if you really would like to. You definitely have enough that your fingers are nowhere near that stitch line, so you don't have to be real scared of getting right up close on there. And we are now on the top of page 7. If you are stitching along, that's where we're at. I'm going to snag this for a second and trim those edges.
So once Lisa is finished trimming this, we're going to do the decorative stitching that's going on top of the cactus. We're going to keep the same color in the machine because that's why we chose that one, because we wanted to use that. So Lisa's tip for doing trimming close, and we talked about this before, so this isn't the first time we've said this. So if you've already heard it, we're sorry. But try to be as fluid as you can be when you're cutting. So as you're cutting with your scissors, right, you want to try to be really smooth, because
Don't be
each time,
choppy.
don't be choppy. Yep. So if you are choppy, then you'll see like all of those sort of jagged edges
on that leather.
On the leather.
Oh, there's pins in there. Woo!
And be careful when you're turning your hoop around so that you don't poke yourself with the pins.
Wakes you up. So if you're a little sleepy, just grab one of those and you'll be all set. All right. I'm awake enough that I did that to my satisfaction.
That looks fantastic.
All right, so we are going to slide that little guy right back in the machine. Just trying to get nothing caught anywhere so that I don't unhoop my stuff there. All right, so at this point we are going to do the decorative stitches that there's like weird color things on the, I can't
how
tell.
the camera
Is it a
takes
wrinkle? But it's not. It's just the color, the way the color is bouncing off.
That's right.
So there's now going to be decorative stitches on top of that leather. And this is a dark enough green you're going to be able to see them, but not like, holy crap, what happened? It's going to blend as well. So that is, it's kind of a dark olivey green that she chose. Grabbing the next thread color here because that's what we do, right? We prepare.
We're prepped.
I changed the plot.
Oh, that's great.
It was killing me. I kept looking at it and I'm like, oh my Lord.
The day is not going by.
The day is not going by. This is really cute.
It is very cute design. I don't know.
Succulents are really in. There's a lot of.
They are.
Yeah, it's just a really.
Into them. Yeah, I think I was into them before they were popular though.
Oh, you were ahead of the game on that one?
I was ahead of the game, yeah.
We have a lot of cactus, different types of cactus and succulent type things. My husband has a very green thumb and he has plants that like fall over off of tables. I mean, they just grow like, I have an aloe plant that's like, it has its own table. It's so big. I buy him when I find a really cool looking cactus. I buy him one because he thinks they're cool too.
Yeah.
So kind of fun. All right. So very, very cute. We now have a cacti on there, and
we're gonna put a
super
flower on
cute.
it.
Now we're going to add the little flower that you get. You shouldn't see this color, but since we already have it, and we're gonna have to change the thread anyways, I like to do my placement line in the color of what's happening, and that way if I do a crappy job cutting or whatever it is,
well, the other thing that happens if you don't change it is sometimes you forget.
Yes,
and this
and
is
then
leather,
and you can't hide it later.
No forgiving.
There is no forgiveness on this guy. Yeah, this works way better.
I know. I was laying in bed this morning and I'm like, why don't we move the camera to a different angle? Why are we putting it in front of the threader?
Yeah, because normally we have the camera like right here and we can't get to it, and then we bump it and you guys get nauseous watching us thread the machine.
I don't know why it took me this long to figure that out, but
because it was the best view.
It was a good
view. This is actually pretty good. All right, so we're going to just put a little flower right here. And again, I have my pink, which is a little darker than the pink leather. So I've got the pink leather. My thread is going to be a little darker than that. So it's actually going to give a little pop edge that you can see. Again, this is raw edge. So whatever you have in there is going to show. So make sure you like what that looks like before you...
this one might take a minute
this
more.
This is going to take a hot second to cut because there's points and it's tiny.
It's tiny.
Tiny ones are harder.
They are. But it's very cute.
It's like, isn't there another one? I'm looking at it like I could have sworn there was another point. And there was. And they just hadn't gotten to the point yet.
They just hadn't gotten to the point. I understand that.
Sorry.
That's what it's like when you watch us.
Bad
right?
humor in the morning. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm going to go and trim that guy. This hoop doesn't like to move in this machine.
Apparently not.
It's
I think you're trying to be too careful.
It's grumpy.
Grumpy?
Well, I don't want to dislodge the arm.
No, we don't.
That
wanna
would
do
be
that.
bad.
That would be bad. And then we would have to show everybody how to fix that.
That's actually not a bad thing to show everybody how to fix.
So Lisa's going to take her time trimming this little flower out. The very next thing that we're going to be doing after this is the placement line for the bigger cactus. So we will not be using pink anymore. We will be using.
Do you want to talk
dark
about the
green.
difference on those?
Yeah.
Because the pink is actually quite a bit thicker.
So it, let's see if you can see this on the camera. I'm gonna flip over to the other one here. So I have two pieces here. This one right here is the green, and it's really, really thin. And
which made it easier to cut.
Here is the pink, which is the one that she's working on now. So it's a little bit thicker. We have it's got like a almost
It's got
like
a
a
fuzzy
foam. Yeah,
back.
like a foam back to it. So it's a little bit thicker. You can really see the thickness here. And then I'll hold this one up so you can see how thinner it is, how much thin
here.
it is. So that is definitely going to make a difference when you're cutting it out. You can maybe you can see the texture difference. Yeah. So you can see like the little, it's like texture. It's almost like a canvas on the green. And then it's like almost like fleece, but very thin fleece. Maybe felt.
I think
Maybe
it's
a thin
felted
felt
back. Yeah, I
on the
think it's a
back
really
of
thin
the
felt. And so you see a little bit of that white fuzz edge when you cut, which is also, I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm going to only make it worse if I fart with it. So I have found, where to go? There we go. So you can see that white edge here. The more you mess with things, like you go back and I wanted this just a hair closer, but my scissors weren't planked because the leather underneath of it didn't get right up onto that. If I go back and mess with that, I'm going to end up with choppier lines.
Yeah.
The more you play, the actually worse it sometimes can get. I picked up all of the extra pieces.
They
Look
just
at
fell
that.
down here. That's
I
okay.
just was making sure I wasn't going to stitch any in.
Nope, you're not. But we need to change our color to the dark green before we stitch. And I took the thread out so we didn't make a mistake.
That's probably smart. All right. So
That's going to be the lighter green.
is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, it's time for the air.
Yeah, I think maybe we should find Karen and I don't know. Maybe I'll just run and do that while this is stitching. I don't know where she is. All right. So this is going to be the placement line for the darker green cacti.
Mm-hmm.
And we are doing that in the lighter green so that you can see.
Yeah, it's got little knots on it.
Yep, it's got the little marks.
Yes.
There's the green. I will be right back.
Okay.
And I remembered my mind. Are you impressed?
I am. I'm doubly impressed that you didn't take the iPad down with you.
Crap. Are you warm?
Yeah. I was having a major hot.
So here I have it's green felt now. Hey Lisa, Marilyn asked if we could show some of the other colors of the zipper pouches. So Lisa's gonna grab the other zippered bags so that you can see them.
So there, nobody's gonna be able to hear me. Stop talking, right?
Yeah. Apparently, this one goes right into the decorating.
That's interesting.
It did not.
That's not great.
Well, it's all in the inside, so it'll be
Guess
good.
that's okay. So while that's doing it, you want to flip
I will.
cameras? So we don't have all of them on the floor, but I have them all in a box that just
Just
got
came in.
delivered. So the colors I don't have, there is a nice navy blue. I think that's probably my favorite. It's really, really gorgeous. And that one's velveteen. Some are velveteen and some are felt. So it depends on what color. They're not, both colors are not available in both types.
Right.
So the colors are either one or the other. But there is blush, which it's pink.
Yes.
All right. But they call it
Peachy
blush.
pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the olive green. And there is mustard, which definitely is
Mustard. It's like Grey
Mustard.
Poupon.
Grey Poupon.
As
Would
opposed
you,
to
haven't you
French.
have any Grey Poupon? Yes, I do. Okay. There is also a heather gray, which is a really nice color. As of right now, this is not part of the main line, so we cannot get this color as a regular product for you. It is only available right now.
Yes.
I don't know whether that will change or not, but FYI, if you want another one, you better get it now because when we run out, we'd have to buy an entire another box of them to get more. I can't
Yes.
just get a couple of them.
No. Let's get 25.
We'd
So
have
if
to
you
get
want
25.
25,
Let us
great.
know. We'll get that ordered.
Oh. All right. So this is just about finished, and then you can trim. So yeah, I mean, luckily,
Did I miss any colors? I feel like there was three of each. So that was 1, 2, 3. We're missing something else.
you said blue, gray.
Blue.
There's 5, right?
I thought there was 3 in each, like 3 felt and 3. I don't remember.
Okay. That's
I'm
fair.
sorry. I feel like there's another one, Marilyn. All right, it's singing at us, which means it's done.
And it's officially stopped.
Okay. Out of the back, it goes, "Brr, I'm gonna go get a drink," and I was like, "Oh, I just turned the air
Ear on.
I didn't
Yes.
tell him. I didn't tell him.
You're gonna have
It's
to
a
put a jacket
secret.
on, Tony.
It's a secret."
Judy Kinchikowski said aqua.
That's it. It's
That's it.
teal.
It's
They
teal.
call it teal. Yep. Thank you, Judy.
So there are some felt bags, and there are some.
Yep. I
Uh,
believe it's the gray and the pink. I know for sure are felt
Mhm.
versus velveteen. That mustard looks velvety.
the green. Looks
The green
felt.
is felt.
Is it felt? Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the aqua, the navy, and the blush are in velveteen.
So aqua, navy, blush, and velveteen, and green, pink, and gray in felt. So those are your choices currently.
Well, currently we can also get you another amethyst. We do
And-
still have some,
Yes.
but
But those are the colors that are
standard.
standard in the line as of right now.
So there are quite a few jump stitches in here. I'm not going to trim. I can go back and get those after the fact.
Mhm.
So I don't think that they're going to get covered up. I can't.
Maryland, I don't think they have been added to the online store yet. I would actually have to go and check. I do not believe I've added those, but it is possible. I can't confirm or deny. And I don't have my phone to look that up right now because that's the other camera and my iPad we are using. So I literally have nothing to look up right now. But we are adding stuff constantly. So that is for sure. Oh, Judy is reminding you to trim those before you put
I
the
am,
clear.
before I put the clear over. That's why I thought, oh, wait, yours going to get covered up. Do we have a little snips?
I don't have any little snips over here.
No? All right, give me a minute.
You need to go get some?
Maybe, we'll see.
Okay. Nope, someone ran off with our little snips.
Lots of jump stitches.
Yeah, lots of little jump stitches. I guess that worked out okay trimming though. With it being stitched down, it didn't seem to be in the way.
Oh, no, not at all.
That's good.
Sorry, guys.
So the next thing that we're going to be doing is the brown for the, it's like the dirt underneath.
Or the container, one or the other. I don't know.
Sure.
You need a
That could be a
pot.
pot.
You need a pot to put it in.
A pot to put it in.
That's not what wanted to come out of my mouth.
Oh, we're keeping it PG today.
It is totally PG.
Yes.
I promise.
I always think it's funny when I load videos up to YouTube. If you've ever loaded a video up on YouTube, it asks you
whether
questions,
it's-
and one of the questions is this video made for children? And I always say no, and then it asks me, does there need to be like a rating, is there a PG rating? And I say no, but I always just think it's funny that it asked me that question. So she's almost done. Those last little ones.
Yeah, they don't want to go.
No, they don't want to go.
Smaller scissors would have been better.
Yeah, if you're doing this at home, you're gonna want to use your.
Get
You
some
know what? Those
snips.
little hook ones
Hook
would be
ones would have been
perfect
perfect.
for this because they kind of get buried into that felt. But this is so cute.
It is turning out super cute.
I wasn't sure how I felt about this amethyst color bag, but with the greens and that
It really
pink on there,
blends. It shows it,
It
off
does.
nicely.
it's
Mhm.
so cute.
I apologize. This is taking so long. There's a whole lot of them.
Well, and we know how important it is to get those
And
because
I can't come back later because we're going to cover all of this up.
yes, we are. So, what do we fill the time with? Let's see.
I did not
We
organize
have-
my sewing room last night.
You did not?
I did not.
We have an OESD event on Friday morning,
We
which is going to be
do.
really fun. It's about stabilizers. It's about their stabilizers. So it's free. You should definitely join in. That'll be up for 24 hours is how long they keep theirs up. They will also have a coupon code so you can grab some stabilizers. Next month, Lisa and I are doing a stabilizer event. So that'll be a lot of fun because ours is not going to be brand specific. So we'll be sharing the types of stabilizers that we love from the different brands and maybe why we're choosing one
over
person's brand over another because
And
they
even why we choose one type over another, because there's lots of things that you could get away with doing
yes
different stuff in, but why we pick what we pick.
yes that is it's kind of like our recipe for success, which is a little bit different. We both come at it from a kind of a different side, so it's interesting to see and hear about all of our different experiences. So that'll be a lot of fun, and we are working diligently to have some Lisa and Sarah bundles on our website for you to purchase.
Yeah, we'll have something there by then.
Yes.
Just maybe not until then.
Not until then. So the reason that I bring this up is because this is how you become a bag lady. So Leabu has a bag lady special, and it runs every single month. It's a week-long special. And if you are not part of the bag lady special, but you want to have a very cool bag that says Leabu Sewing Center on it so that you can shop with and get specials, it's by making a purchase at our stabilizer event. So if you are anxiously awaiting that, it'll be a good time to stock up on stabilizers. And there's going to be, I'm just going to be perfectly blunt when I say this, there are some stabilizers that we just flat out cannot get right now. So they will be for sale, and they'll be part of
on
the
back
package,
order.
but they'll be on back order. And it is so frustrating for us. And so we can only imagine how frustrating it is for you. But we are certainly trying to make sure that we have all of our stuff. All right, so we are done trimming that up.
I think I got them all.
It
Close
looks
enough anyway.
fantastic.
Close enough.
It's so cute. And now we are threading up with the brown thread because we are getting ready to do the pot or the dirt or whatever
Whatever you want to call it.
the dirty pot.
The brown spa. You don't want these, do you?
I do not. All right, so we're gonna push go. And this one is still gonna be kind of like a raw edge. It's just a decorative stitch along the outside edge. So when you go to trim this, you are gonna wanna pay attention, making sure that you're getting as close as you possibly can without clipping through those threads. Because you can kind of sometimes see fuzz that happens underneath it. And if you are a type A person, that's gonna make you absolutely crazy. And if you're anybody besides a type A person, you won't care. So whichever one you want to do.
Just as a note, this stuff doesn't really, it might fuzz up a little bit, but you're not going to get like a fray
Right.
or anything from these type of raw edges. This
This
one
one
you will.
will,
So
yeah.
make sure that you're getting that. So I've completely covered up that placement line, and then we're going to go ahead and stitch.
And again, Lisa does have her hands in the machine. If you are not comfortable doing that, please make sure you use your KimberBell tape. That is great tape. If you
Goes on the end.
yes, you were. It's all right. It's covered. That's all that matters. So if you are not comfortable, this would be a do as I say, not as I do moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
You may want tape
use
if you're not
tape.
comfortable. That
Absolutely.
one has a little bit closer, but I don't have time for that. Let's just be real. I don't have time for that.
That's so funny. So she's trimming really close. Again, she's using her favorite double curved double edge. That would be interesting.
That
Double
would be.
curved scissors. And I do believe those are on our website. So if you don't own a pair of those, you can definitely get them.
Yeah, they look like this.
Yep. They're great for doing KimberBell applique. Oh my gosh, the air feels so good.
And now it's like a sigh of relief.
Poor Tony. He's going to need a winter coat.
You can wear a winter coat. I got sweaters in the other room. He can stay in the back and look silly. I don't care. It's hot.
Yeah, it's no fun being hot.
Well, and it's supposed to be like
80 almost.
80 today.
Yes. I keep looking at my watch like it's going to tell me what temperature it is, but so my watch just it says that my iPhone is connected to StreamYard and it keeps wanting me like it's like would you like to turn the mic on your phone? No, I would not, because then it would get echoey.
You would hear the echo,
Yes.
echo. All right, I think you're pretty good.
All right, she's getting the last little bits trimmed. Again, take your time at this point because you don't want to have all of those little bits and bobbles in there. I said bits and bobbles to the RV guy the other day, and he laughed and laughed and laughed. He's like, "You're too young to use that word."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay."
How young was he?
I was like, "I didn't know that this was an old person word."
All right, so there is that little decorative stitch now that's going to happen right on top of that.
I really love this new layout with us in the little corner and the picture. So I put our Lisa's hand. I put our video up yesterday on my YouTube app on my TV because I was curious with the high def thing how it looked. It looked really good.
Good.
So Dave enjoyed the room, the jaunt around your room.
My hubby built me this. My hubby built me that.
Yeah. On the big screen. I said to Dave, I'm like, do you realize that some people put us up on the big screen all the time? I'm like, I'm so sorry for them.
I know, it's like, whoa, that's adventurous.
Yes. We're almost done.
I always laugh when there's like little pieces that bounce all over the place.
Yeah, it's funny.
Those have to go somewhere
They
else.
have to go someplace. All right.
All right, so now we need gold.
Yes, the next thing that we're gonna do is like on the top of the aquarium, no, the terrarium. That's what it is, because there's no fish in there. The terrarium, there's a little knob at the top, and that's the part that we're gonna do right now. And so we're gonna put some metallic thread in here. We have a fresh needle in, so we should be pretty good. But we do have sticky. So I just wanted to say, in case,
Preemptive.
that's right, just in case the thread breaks or something like that, this is our absolute favorite thread. But sometimes when you have sticky stabilizer underneath there, it does grab onto that a little bit. So it
can
could
occasionally get breaks.
Yes.
But outside of that, this is you don't have to change the speed. You don't have to change the needle. There's no special threading system or
No.
anything like that.
No,
So
you don't have to like stand on one foot.
nope, hop,
Hop.
rub your tummy,
Yeah.
None
Pat
of-
your head.
pat your head while rubbing your tummy. There's a little fuzzy.
Offer up your first child.
Can't have my first. Maybe not. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, so we are threaded with that beautiful gold, and we just have this little ring that's sitting at the top that we're gonna do here.
And are we gonna do the terrarium pieces in metallic too? That would be really pretty. It's so cute. There's sparkle.
Add some glitter. Gotta love it. All right.
So the next thing it's gonna do is the outline for the plastic. So we're gonna just keep it in gold
We
here.
are.
Guys, we are almost done stitching this. So up to this point, if you had hit your project with an iron, you would have been pretty safe. But we're gonna add this piece of clear vinyl over top of this. At this point, it would not be safe to get an iron near this. So definitely be careful. The thread that we used on here is King Star. So it is made by Designs and Machine Embroidery, or Dime as we like to call them. That is King Star Metallic, and this was the MG2 color.
All right. So what I was doing is I'm getting all the fuzz
Yes.
out from inside of there, because once I put this stuff on, I can't get to it anymore, which is why I actually had to trim these and you had to wait for me.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I would have just done it later. But I'm
Yes.
going to cover this whole section up. So make sure that there's no fuzzies, little pieces of thread, or, you know, if you're that A-type, make sure there's nothing in there that you can't get back to
And
later.
make sure there's nothing stuck
And,
on
yep,
your,
I did that too.
vinyl.
There was a
like
there's
sometimes our hair.
hair or thread likes
thread,
to stick in there.
Yes. Or
So
little
make
bits.
sure that it's static clinging to my arm here, but it's like, whoa, very strange. All right,
So
are
we still
good
have
there.
gold in. You want me to push the button?
Yeah, if you would.
I will.
All right, so again, that beautiful gold thread is still there.
And so it's going to tack this down, and it's going to do the decorative stitching in between before you trim.
So it's just making it a heavier line, basically. It's
Yep.
doing like a triple stitch all the way around there. That's really cute.
It is so cute. I am definitely loving this one. Good morning, Karen. Hi to everybody else who just joined us. Couple little late stragglers. Probably early for you. It's not late for you. It's not early for me. It's kind of late.
No, I've actually been up since 6. I've been awake
Since
since 6. The dogs went crazy for about 20 minutes when Jeff came home this morning. And I tried to go back to sleep, but
Yeah.
no dice.
I'm about 6 o'clock. I am pouring coffee in my cup, starting the car if it's cold and getting ready to come to work.
No.
We picked up the doors last night for our closet.
Yep.
I was pretty excited about that, and they made it home. We took, there's some construction on a bridge, so we took a detour on the way home. We didn't want to go on the expressway because we couldn't get the tailgate
Right.
closed. So we drove by, in the scenic route, we drove by a llama farm. So I said to Dave, I'm like, oh, we should stop so I can get a picture. He just looked at me. He gave me the Dave look, which is, that's not going to happen, Sarah. Maybe some other
Just
time.
no.
No.
All right. This is actually color-wise
It's black.
all black.
Yeah. Lisa is going to trim
The vinyl.
the vinyl, and then
And
we are going to thread for black. I can do that. And because the last little bits of stitching is the tag, and the tag is going to be black. So it's going to have, oops, I'm so sorry. I knocked the camera over. Oh, short arms.
Long reach.
Right?
Big machine.
All right.
All right, here we go. Same thing when you're cutting this clear vinyl or colored, it doesn't really matter, but your jagged cuts will show. So attempt to not have those.
So I just want to say thanks, Karen. You shared our KimberBell video yesterday, and it kind of our Facebook video, it kind of blew up yesterday. So that was really nice. We got a whole bunch of new people joining us and following our page, and some people called and placed some orders. So that was a really nice thing that you did for us. We greatly appreciate that.
So I do find it, I fold my vinyl so that I have a nice crisp edge to follow, and the vinyl's not fighting me while I'm cutting it.
Yes.
And I find that works really well. Sometimes that doesn't work because you have a curve, but when you have that nice straight line, if you fold the vinyl back on itself, it really helps get you a nice clean cut.
So
Almost there.
once we're done cutting this or trimming this back, we can show you how to stitch up the bag as well. It's very, very easy to do. It's kind of the nice thing about a blank is it does make it easy to stitch.
And finish the whole thing in one shot.
Right? Because you're so close.
I didn't fold that one and see what happened.
They can't. But we're going to have to take your word for it.
Yeah, well,
It didn't go well.
I fixed it, but I was like, dang it. So close. And then
So
not
close.
so much.
I still can't believe how cute this is.
Yeah, when I saw this design, I was like, you know, cactuses are cute and all, but what would I do with that? It's really cute.
It is adorable.
I would find something to do with that.
Right?
That's what I would do. All right, so we are threaded again with black, and I'm just going to make sure, since I was messing with it, I don't have any bubbles in there. And we are going to go ahead and stitch. So
This is the
it is going to be the placement line for our last piece of embellishment.
which is another piece of felt, right?
Got just a little tail there. For whatever reason, it didn't bury itself.
The nerve.
I know. I mean, we're live for
For
crying out loud. Here we go. All right. One more trim.
Lisa's getting impatient. Taking it out before it's done. Hurry up.
I
Hurry up.
might do that at home
Oh,
sometimes
maybe?
too.
I can't imagine.
Maybe.
I can't imagine you being.
You know, the machine didn't yell at me, so
It
I
did
didn't go
not.
that
You didn't
fast.
go. No.
I've had it yell at me.
So does anybody have any questions so far? It's pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. It's just that there's a lot of different textiles that we're using, and some of them take a little bit more care than others.
So next month is the man bag, right?
Sure.
Isn't it like the
Yeah, I think so.
mustache?
The man bag, yes.
Which is kind of cute.
It is.
There was so if you haven't been paying attention, there was a little shipping snafu. So some of the stuff that was supposed to be next month and the month after definitely got a little bit waylaid in the shipping. So we are also going to have the next 6 months up for sale soon. because we are halfway through this first one already, if you can believe that.
All right, so this is going to stitch a cute little heart inside the tag here, and then a little doodle line that would connect the tag into the loop at the top there.
That's right. You can't just have a tag hanging out in the middle of nowhere.
That would be a little odd.
It would be odd.
It would be a little odd. So you could totally put somebody's like initial on that if you were giving this a gift as a gift instead of stitching that. That would be kind of fun.
Yes. You could also easily add their name to the side of this if you wanted. Like we could put Sarah right on that bag.
We could. Would you guys like to see us do that? Did you take that towel home?
Yes, because somebody stepped on it, and it was my intent. There was like a giant footprint, a muddy footprint.
Somebody
on the
was
towel.
asking to look at it the other day, and I'm like, I don't know where it is.
I took it home to wash it, and it is actually underneath my ironing board right now. And I need to iron it to bring it back because it got
all mangled in the washer. All right, so you will see that my machine is not quite done yet. It's going way over here. This is that line that I was telling you about at the beginning. They put in the design so that it would shift, so that when it's centered, it shifted it to the right. You do not want to stitch this.
Right.
So I'm bringing that up because somebody's going to stitch it and then be very angry because
they have to pull it out.
Random stitch line that they have to take out.
Yes.
And this stuff, I think you will probably see leftover stitches if you do that.
Yes.
So do not stitch. There's a line here and a line back over. I can't reach around. Sorry.
Yeah,
at the bottom over here. Oh, we froze for a second there.
Oh.
It just didn't. So way over here, and at the bottom of the hoop and the middle of the right of the hoop. Do not stitch those.
No. So the very last stitch.
Yep.
Don't stitch.
It is.
And it says that very clearly.
It says that it is step number 17 so it's thread stop number 17. If you are actually reading your instructions, it says like hugely, do not stitch this. But sometimes, and if you're using a multi-needle, you need to really pay attention. Put a stop in there so that it's
so it stops.
So it stops. Which I have to tell you, I probably would not want to do this on a multi-needle because everything is a stop. But if that's what you have, then there you go. But make sure that you don't stitch that little last guy.
Absolutely.
There. Okay, so we are done with the embroidery portion of doing this bag. And that is at the bottom of page 9, if you will.
So Karen wants to know how soon will we be able to pre-order the next quilt?
I was really hoping to make sure that it was all
This
live and everything yesterday. Yesterday just didn't go.
Happen.
We were live twice and it just didn't
It didn't happen.
But it will be on there today. So if you check in a couple hours, hopefully
it'll be up there.
It'll be up there.
Yes.
Once you turn to page 10, it starts talking about how to create the actual bag and how to finish the blank to make it a bag instead of just loose pieces of stuff. So we will need to change feet. Do we have a screwdriver? We do. There's one right there.
Yep.
All right. So we are going to switch the machine over while I take it out of the hoop. One of the things that it does say is on the back of the hoop, we're going to be tearing this away, but there's this crosshair that's stitched and we need to snip at the position where that meets the design so that it snips away and we can actually tear. So that is in the directions. And if you think to yourself, oh, I'm just going to skip that, don't. You actually do want to snip those off so that it will tear nice and easy.
So I am going to send the machine over. Watch your to sewing to move that embroidery arm out of my way because now I can get to this.
Yeah, it is a lot easier when the embroidery arm's not there. Not wrong.
regular sewing thread here somewhere.
There was. Try that basket.
There it is. So when you're pulling that stuff off, you do want to try to make sure you don't pull all of your fusible off.
Yeah. And also, you know, it tears pretty nicely right on those triple stitches, which is really what's all the way around everything here. But I usually try to put my hand, like my thumb or whatever, on the stitch so that I'm giving it just a little support, so I'm not pulling too much on those stitches when I'm tearing away, because we don't want to screw up anything. Almost made it. Like right on the rim.
The trash, I did move it.
Right as I threw. I was
Great
like,
timing.
well. All right. Okay. I'm gonna take our pins out. Leave them here.
I think the iron is still hot if you want to give that a little press on the back if you think you need to.
There's a little bit of a line. Again, make sure that you are ironing from the back, because we have that vinyl
On the top.
on the top, right in the middle of everything.
Yes.
So make sure that
If you do any ironing, you are doing it from the back.
all right.
Okay, so we need to grab the 2 lining pieces, and then we have the outside pieces down here. Okay, so does it say which direction to push the zippers?
Towards the front.
Towards the front.
So towards the velveteen.
So I'm going to grab the. Can I have the pins?
Yep, that's why I kept them handy,
There was a.
except for the one
Cushion
I
over
just
here.
dropped.
Oh, there's somebody knocking on the door already.
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
Is he a delivery?
Can I help you?
All right, so I am pinning the top, and we want to make sure that we push the zipper down towards the front of the bag. So I'm going to pull those down, and I'm going to place a pin right there. He wants to try to sell us some yarn.
Um,
So by pinning the zipper pieces facing down, that's going to give you the correct.
teeth towards the front. So
Oh, you didn't say that.
yeah, well, it's what my brain said that it meant.
Okay. So push the teeth down, pull the zipper tape up. I thought that was weird, but what do I know?
Do what I say. It's like, no, can't you read my mind?
I did not read your mind. All right.
I
So,
thought you asked me what way the zipper teeth went. So like what way does the zipper go? And
oh yeah,
so I answered the question how I heard it, and
That's
you
good.
asked it in a different manner.
yeah. And so the
There you
one
go.
thing that you also want to make sure is that you actually pull your zipper piece.
Into
Down.
the middle.
All right.
Yes.
So that's super important. So I'm going to pull my zipper down. And I can't really zoom in on this. I'm sorry. The cameras don't have the ability to zoom. So that's not an option.
Not at the
But
moment.
I can show you on this camera here. So here I have the zipper teeth, right? So it's kind of folded in half, and the zipper teeth are pointing down. So the lining pieces are up here. The bottom of the bag is down here.
So
and
the teeth are going
teeth
towards the front and the back of the bag.
are facing the pretty side of the bag, not the lining. Okay? So the thing that I want to point out about these bags is they're definitely
Not all perfect.
they're not straight.
They're not all perfect.
They are definitely not perfect. So there is going to be a little bit of fudge room involved in the process of sewing this. So I recommend, so this is what I do personally. So where this piece here is folded down, I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to my sewing machine, and I'm actually going to just lay down a couple of stitches right over that spot to make sure that that does not move. So my foot is down.
I'm going to get out of your way.
And so
you drive left-footed too?
not usually. I'm multi-talented here.
Hey, look at that.
So that's going to make sure that that actually stays the way that I want it. And then that piece can come out. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to put a couple of stitches right here. Just trying to find where Lisa put the pin.
I hit it.
She did. She hit it really well. So
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
you are definitely supposed to do that. And
That's what
again,
good friends do.
so by doing that, it kind of helps so that I can get the rest of the bag to lay down nice and flat.
And not have to worry
And
about
I don't
that zipper
have to
moving
worry
in the
about
process.
exactly. I don't have to worry about that. So we are going to need to leave an opening in the bottom so that we can have a place to turn it. So what I like to do is, so I'm going to leave my opening in the center part here. So I'm going to start where that opening would be. Oops, I got to put my foot down. And I need to just slide over.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
okay.
want to take over your toes.
It's all good. I'm
Okay.
just getting out of the way.
She's going to get out of the way.
I don't want my toes gotten.
She doesn't want her toes run over. Okay, so I need to just make sure that I'm hitting the bottom piece of this because it's not perfectly straight. So like I said, there's a little bit of fudge room around here because this isn't perfect. If you find the process of sewing something kind of like this that's not perfectly square, you could certainly go to your sewing machine and square that up.
Mm-hmm. Just keep tugging.
Right? This foot pedal and I do not get along.
It has a lag.
It does. So I like to reinforce the zipper area.
She's just hitting the reverse there, guys. So she does not have like an exact seam allowance on here. She's using the edges of the bag in as close as she can,
That's right.
getting them lined up and then attempting to stitch straight.
Yes, which is sometimes a challenge when things are
When
not.
things are not lining up like they should, it's definitely a lot harder. No doubt about it.
So this bottom piece here is pretty short. So I am stopping what looks like a tremendous amount of distance away from this corner because you can see there's quite a big of a
Huge
gap. That's right.
there.
So, and I can feel that underneath with my hand. And again, here is that zipper spot. And again, I want to make sure that I don't close this. Otherwise, I will not be able to turn this. So I'm going to leave a little bit of gap here. You can leave one slightly bigger or larger, whatever you prefer. And I'm just going to reinforce that. All right.
Probably right at 10.
So now we have something that looks like this, and we have a hole in the bottom. You are going to probably want to clip your corner pieces, and you're going to want to trim off your zipper pieces. I'm going to turn the bag just to make sure that it's okay before
Before you cut everything
before
off.
I make that a definite yes. And I did not leave a large opening in my zipper, so I'm just putting my hand in where the zipper is to
yank that.
open. I did leave a hole,
Just not a huge one.
just not a hole. Yeah, there we go.
The challenges.
The challenge is, right? It's inside out and backwards in there. Right? And so one of the reasons why I left that big hole at the bottom was because of the vinyl. I didn't want to squish the vinyl too much so that it actually like creased it
when you're pulling through.
when I was pulling through,
Yep.
right? Because I can close the hole. So that's no big deal.
Well, it makes it easier to turn.
It does.
And since you can very easily close that, it's
That's right.
Yep. So corners are not going to be perfect because she didn't trim
I haven't trimmed
before.
off anything.
She's just making sure she likes where everything's at
Right.
before she does so. And dropping it.
Dropping it, yes.
Good morning.
Because everything was kind of haphazard in there. I just want to make sure that we don't have any holes in the bag before I start clipping.
Or that it's super not square.
Right.
Or something to that effect. That looks pretty good, actually. So, ta-da!
And so here are those. And again, you can make your corners look better
When you
because
trim off that excess.
I haven't trimmed off that excess, but that
pull
will
that out a little bit
will
more.
pull out a little bit more over here. So
Yep. And then you can pull that lining right back through
Mhm.
and sew the end of it, that hole
Yes.
shut. And
you can clip all that and make
clean
sure
up your
it's-
edges and whatnot.
It's good. Yes. So there we have
So
a zippered pouch.
unfortunately, the not straightness of this does tend to be a theme.
Yes.
You know, when you're sewing all the pieces separate, sometimes they get skewed and whatnot. So when they put them all together, it's sometimes not exactly ideal. However, you can see how easy it was to make that adjustment. And
Ta-da!
still came out really, really cute.
It did.
So
Yeah, not too bad.
not too shabby. And look at that adorable, adorable little stitch out.
I know, it's so cute. So cute. I love the
really
and the glitter.
the gold,
The gold
metallic
metallic.
really set it off
It did.
very, very nicely. So that's how you make this one.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. Little bit of sewing.
Yep.
I said we were going to sew.
You did.
See, I wasn't wrong,
You were not wrong.
even though I really wasn't meaning that when I said it. But you know, there you go. So yeah, so that is how that is all put together. all of the blanks go together that same way in this aspect, whether they're felt or they're all put together the same
Yeah.
way. Super easy. And I mean,
An
how
hour.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very,
Yeah.
very cute.
Yep.
And, you know, the embroidery portion is what took that time, not
Not the sewing.
the creating of the bag.
No.
So,
Mm-mm.
again, lining on one side, top and bottom, front and back, if you will, on the other side, sew around.
Yep.
Just get that
Leave an
zipper nice and tight, leave an opening.
And
Piece of
make
cake.
sure you put your zipper in before
Yes,
you sew.
open the zipper or else that doesn't work.
That's right. Otherwise, it's going to be an inside out bag.
Otherwise, you have tears.
Yes. You'd be sad.
You'd be sad. No
We
sad.
don't want anybody to be
Nobody
sad.
should be sad.
Yes.
All right. So thanks for joining us for this stitch along. And let's see what we have. We have Friday. We have stabilizer with OESD. And then next Tuesday, we'll be talking about the next section of red, white, and blue
In the morning.
in the morning at 9 a.m. And
9
then
a.m.
we'll have our normal Tuesday afternoon doodad
Yes.
and bits and bubbles.
Bits and bubbles.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Evidently, I'm old now too. Yeah, so we've got lots of things coming up. And Karen, we will, and for the rest of you, we'll get the candy corn quilts pre-order right up there. If you were not listening, there will be free
Quilting
bonus
designs.
quilting designs for
If you
those who
pre-order.
pre-order.
Mhm.
Once they're here,
We cut that off.
that's no
That's
longer
right.
an
And
option.
you can't get the
And,
quilting designs.
and
that I
those
make.
are no longer available. So
Yes.
make sure you pre-order.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.